Hello everyone and welcome to today's morning report. Charles Prezos with me, Rich Perry, market analyst at Hantec Markets on Monday the 7th of August. We've got a fairly mixed market really, nothing too significant in terms of direction. On Friday what we had was a strong dollar move on the back of the payrolls report, but that's not really followed through. You're seeing the euro rebounding, the sterling rebounding. The commodity currencies are a little bit mixed today. You've got the oil price, which is lower by over 1% now, and that's sort of filtering into those markets, I believe. But generally speaking, we've seen the market just unwind a touch. That was that strong dollar move that we saw on Friday, but it's rolled over a touch today, and you can see that in these treasury yields, which did have a jump, yes, to the upside. Are they going to continue to move to the upside? The 10-year has slightly ticked higher on the yield and the 2-year, but nothing really has changed, I believe, in terms of the direction on those treasury yields. Nothing sustainable anyway. And at the moment, we're seeing the, as I said, the euro, which has just rebounded slightly against the dollar. And that is helping to sort of drag that dollar index back a bit. But generally speaking, we're fairly mixed. In terms of your equity markets, similar sort of story really. We've seen positive moves on Wall Street into the close on Friday, and an 8th successive up day on the Dow, closing into all-time highs. And the S&P 500 was also higher, but the S&P 500 isn't exceptionally positive, as you can see on this chart. It basically is ranging sideways. Even though the Dow is breaking out on a daily basis, that ranging sideways move on the S&P 500 does concern me a little bit. So you look at that and you think, well, okay, is this sort of going to affect the European markets? Well, as I said, we had that jump on Friday, which I'll take you through on my chart of the day on the DAX in a bit, but not really followed through today. DAX pulling back as the euro has strengthened. So, some mixed market moves that we are seeing today. Now, we haven't really got a great deal of data out today, and to be honest, this week is fairly quiet all the way up until Friday, when we get the US inflation data on the CPI. But today you've got really only the Fed's labour market index at 3 o'clock, and that's could have an impact, but to be honest, it's not a great deal going on today. My chart today is the DAX. Now, what we have seen is the DAX rallying on Friday, but rallying back to this sort of underside of this old resistance, which has basically had been sort of capping the gains over the last couple of weeks. And lo and behold, today we've just turned lower again. Now, we haven't broken out on a closing basis above, well, seemingly at the moment, above 12,341, which would complete a little bit of a base pattern, but we haven't seen that, or it doesn't look as though we're going to see that unless the market turns around again. So the old the old support around 12,316 again becomes the basis of new resistance today. So that's interesting. We're seeing these momentum indicators ticking higher, yes, but are we going to see the RSI going above 50 and holding? Are we going to see the MACD lines crossing sustainably higher and moving on? Obviously, this sort of closing breakout above 12,340 would be needed to complete this little bit of a base pattern, but at the moment that is questionable, that move. Because we've just dropped away, and you're sort of back into this sort of belly of this trading range. Now, Friday's move, we saw the RSI not really getting to 70, but if the RSI starts to sort of form lows around sort of 40 to 50 area, then perhaps, yes, you could start to think about this maybe being a sort of a process of a base pattern. Now, you've got a bit of a pivot on the daily chart. It doesn't on the cash index, it doesn't show that well, but on the futures it shows really well at 12,200, but on the cash it's around about 12,210. So you'd be looking at that as a bit of a gauge, bit of a sort of a midpoint gauge within this range in the past sort of couple of weeks. If you break back below that, you're sort of looking more corrective again, holding above that level. You sort of could still entertain the possibility of a base pattern, but for now, I wish you good luck in your trading. You are seeing the DAX falling away, not massively, about 30-40 ticks down. But as I said, 12,210 is the level that I would be looking out for there, to really sort of gauge the sentiment going forward in today's session. So I wish you good luck in your trading, and I'll speak to you later. Thank you.